Welcome back. Tonight's notes are going to be on rationalizing denominators. And your teacher gave you some notes today in class. So that would have been on pages 42 and 43. So this is going to be page 44. And just in case your teacher did not, I'm going to write the unit 6 2 pages before this. If you don't have room, that's okay. I just want to keep our notes organized. So this is going to be unit 6. And then the title of unit 6 is More Right Triangles. And then I'm going to add that to my table of tens. If you've already done that, that's okay. So this is going to be unit 6. And the page that I definitely want to highlight, this would be, our chapter page would have been page 42. And then the page of notes that you did would have been on page 43 in class. And that was special right triangles. So page 43, special right triangles. And if you've already done that, that's okay. I just want to make sure that that's labeled on our table of contents. Okay, so let's flip back over and start our notes for tonight. Okay, so rationalizing denominators. So first off, let's talk about what rationalizing denominators mean. Okay, so rationalizing denominators mean that there are no radicals in the denominator. That's what that means. There are no radicals in the denominator. So if there's ever a radical in the denominator, you're going to have to rationalize. So let's just start off with an example. And it would simplify. Okay, and we have 6 over root 2. So, because we have a radical in the denominator, that's bad. If you ever have a radical in the denominator, that is bad. We don't want that, okay? So we need to rationalize. And what that means is we're going to get that radical out of the denominator. So our first thing we're going to do is we're going to multiply by the denominator, but we're going to multiply as if it's a 1, okay? So I'm going to write that down and then I'll explain what that means. Multiply by denominator. As a 1, okay? So you know that if we have 2 over 2, that's 1, okay? We're going to use that same idea, but now we're going to be multiplying by the denominator. Well, that's root 2, but we're going to have it root 2 over root 2 because that's a 1, right? Root 2 over root 2, if we divided that, that would just be 1. So you multiply by the denominator, but like it's a 1. And that's going to give me 6 root 2 over root 2 times root 2. Okay. The next thing we're going to do is simplify the denominator. okay? So our denominator right now is root 2 times root 2. Well, from what we learned last unit, root 2 times root 2, well, that's actually root 4. We know what the square root of 4 is. The square root of 4 is 2. So that denominator is actually now just 2. So that's going to give us the same numerator, 6 root 2 over, and we bring this 2 right there. And then our third thing we do is going to be simplify the fraction when necessary. And what that means is, looking at this, well, we have 6 over 2, and we can simplify that. If it was like 3 over 2, then we can't simplify that. So since we can here, we are going to simplify. Well, what is 6 over 2? 6 over 2 is 3, and then that root 2 just gets brought down. So our simplified, rationalized answer is 3 root 2. Okay, and that's how you're going to rationalize denominators. So I'm going to have you do 2 examples. So go ahead and do these 2. The video is going to pause. You'll put in your answers, and then I will go over them after. So we have 9 over root 3, and then 3 over root 2. So go ahead and do those. All right, so when we do these, we're going to have 9 over root 3. The first thing we're going to do is multiply by the denominator as a 1, so that'll be root 3 over root 3. So that's going to give us 9 root 3 over root 3 times root 3. And now we need to simplify the denominator. Right here, this becomes root 9, which we know the square root of 9 is 3. So now we're going to get 9 root 3 all over, we bring this up, 3. And so we can simplify 9 over 3. We do. 9 over 3 is 3. Bring down that root 3. So we get 3 root 3. And then the other one, we have 3 root 2. Excuse me, 3 over root 2. Oops, 2. So we're going to start by multiplying by root 2 over root 2. And that's going to give us 3 root 2 all over root 2 times root 2. Right here, that's root 4, which we know is 2. So we're going to get 3 root 2 all over 2, because we bring up that 2. And can we simplify that? No, we can't. So that's actually our final answer, because we can't divide 3 by 2. All right, and that's all for tonight. Thanks for watching.